Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. Really happy to have you here on Daily Immigration Dose. Thank you so much for joining us. And before we head on to today's discussion, I have this very important disclaimer. And that is by watching our videos, you understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not professional advice. Use at your own risk. Our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. Folks out there, I'm Nipasa, and I'm very happy to welcome my co host Sam. And this is Daily Immigration Shows, which we both host together. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Napasa. How are you? So good to have you again.
Same here, Sam. Lovely to be here. And it's another Monday. Looking forward for a great, splendid week ahead, I would say.
Absolutely. And I think, today that we are going to talk about the new US visa rules that's going to happen in 2025. I think it's one of the most intriguing topic and one of the most concerning topic that we are going to touch upon because, what about US visa? It's like nothing without US visas updates. So it's going to be very important and very updating. So, friends, it would be great if you could join us in today's session by dialing this number that's visible on the screen. That is 425 with the access code 95 times 8. So, welcome everyone to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. And today we are again, here with the very exciting episode of Daily Immigration News. So, yeah, I think Napasa, please go ahead and continue.
And I think to start off, we have this breaking news, and that is Trudeau resigns. Yes, Poilievre vows immigration overhaul, and this is Canada for you, folks. Canada's political landscape is shifting, and Justin Trudeau has stepped down as Prime Minister, citing internal battles, leaving the door open for conservative leader Pierre Poilievre. So now the front runner for the job he is, and Bolivia is promising major changes to immigration and criticizing Trudeau for straining housing, healthcare, and jobs. Well, he pledges to cap immigration rates and reform temporary foreign worker programs and tighten border security to prevent fraud and illegal entries. As the Liberals scramble for new leadership, Bolivia's tough stance on immigration is set to dominate the next election. And folks, I think this is a developing story, and there will be much more on this. So stay tuned. And another is Canada also freezes parent and grandparent sponsorships. So parent and grandparent sponsorships are on hold indefinitely. And that's the shocking news from Canada. Yes, Immigration Minister Mark Miller, who also says that this pause is necessary to tackle a massive backlog of applications. So, starting this year, that is 1st of January 2025, no new sponsorship applications for parents or grandparents will be accepted under the family class stream until further notice. And apart from that, we also have, Indian tech companies lead the H1B visa allocations in 2024. Yes, Indian origin tech firms secured about 20% of H1B visas issued from April to September 2024, with Infosys and TCS leading the way. Out of 130,000 visas granted, 24,766 went to Indian companies, highlighting their vital role in bridging the US tech talent gap. So these firms continue to drive global innovation and economic growth through cross border collaboration. And I think there is more news, and Sam is going to update us with them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Napasa, for letting us know about the latest updates. And I'm very much shocked about the news that Trudeau has resigned. So this is a big breaking news. But I think we will definitely have another session for this. And meanwhile, friends, I also have some news updates that needs to be addressed. So, firstly, in a bold move, President Joe Biden has announced a ban on new offshore oil and gas drilling across a vast area of the US coastline, just weeks before Donald Trump is set to return to office. So the ban impacts the entire Atlantic coast, the eastern Gulf of Mexico, the Pacific coast of California, Oregon, and Washington, as well as section of the Bering Sea of Alaska. So this action is part of Biden's series of last-minute climate policy changes before Trump's return. So Trump has already vowed to revoke the ban immediately once he assumes office, but he may also face some legal challenges in doing so. And under US law, reversing the ban could require approval from Congress. So Biden also defended this decision, saying that offshore drilling could cause irreversible damage to coastal communities and natural resources, and that it is unnecessary for the country's energy that it needs. So Trump, on the other hand, also criticized the ban and calling it ridiculous and reiterating his promise to undo it quickly. Moving ahead with my second news, that is a powerful winter storm is sweeping across the US, affecting regions from central and southern states to the east coast. The storm has led to treacherous travel conditions, schools, and government office closures, and significant disruptions to air travel. Also, approximately 600 motorists were stranded over the weekend, and numerous car accidents occurred in Virginia, Indiana's, Kansas, and Kentucky. Airline passengers are also facing some cancellations and delays too, especially around Washington, D.C. President Joe Biden has also altered his travel plans due to the weather and is closely monitoring the situation. In Kentucky, ice coated trees have caused power outages, and authorities are urging residents to stay off the roads. So, these were some of the basic news updates that I wanted to address. And I think with that, let's move ahead and directly jump into our today's topic. So, Napasa, what do you think that what our viewers are getting to know from today's session? I mean, what do you think about it?
Well, thank you so much, Sam. Those were great news updates, first off. And yes, today we are going to explore this topic, which you can see on the screen, folks, and that is new US visa rules for 2025 and what Indian workers and students need to know. Well, of course, before Trump even became the president, we heard a lot of changes that are going to come in, right? This year, that is. And most of them are with H1B, the rules and regulations. And definitely US also gears up for the fresh visa policies. And I think today, if folks out there, especially from India, have joined, we are going to be discussing a lot. Indian professionals and students out there, I'm sure you are very eager to understand what changes have been made or are going to occur, or how to go about these new changes, that are going to impact their American dream. So yes, with these new rules, there are definitely more opportunities, or do you think that it's going to create more hurdles? I think that's what we are here to discuss today. And yes, please feel free to also join us. And maybe if you are facing any problems, or you are keen to know what's happening, please feel free to join us. The number is 425-436-6335, and the access code is 988-888. And once you're in, just speak, we will be able to hear you. But yes, this is what we're here for. So, new US visa rules for 2025. And yeah, Sam, I think we should definitely start off, right?
Right. So I think let's begin with some basic understanding of the H1B visa process also, because this is one of the highest visa that's in demand, and I think most of the majority of the Indian workers are looking for this visa, and they are more concerned about these visas. So I think let's begin our session with the H1B. So the H1B visa, we all know, that the process has earlier long been a very essential pathway for employers in US to hire the highly skilled workers from around the world. And India was like one of the major, the largest share of the H1B visa holders in the US, as compared to the other countries like China, Canada, Mexico, and Philippines too. So it's also estimated that 70 to 75% of all the H1B visa holders are from India, and I think that's a big thing to understand, because I don't know other countries, but this is one of the largest country that holds H1B visa. And this actually estimated according to USCIS, so it cannot be wrong. And for example, if we look back in 2020, then there were also approximately 185,000 H1B visa holders from India. And in total, if we look in the total number of H1B visa holders across the whole country, then it was 400,000. And out of 400,000, it was 185,000 visa holders from India itself. So it's a great number. It's a huge demand, that we can see for the H1B visas, especially in India. And with over the years, also this process, the H1B visa process has been a very slow, has been cumbersome and very complicated too. And employees, they have to wait for long months, like years even. The years would have been even passed just for the approval of their H1B visa. And there were a lot of jobs that left that weren't able to fill because of the process, because of the H1B visa process. And also, multiple steps were there, like submit the detailed petitions. Then once submitted, then the application often have to face a long waits as a USCIS process them. So, just to help the H1B workers and just to make the nation a better one with the H1B visa holders, this time the process has been a little modernized and streamlined. So the new rule has introduced in 2025, that it's going to expedite the approval process, and now the employers are going to get their H1B petitions processed much faster. So a big congratulations to all those Indian workers, who are looking for the H1B visa holders. And I think this is a great news because in 2025, it's going to be, the process is going to be a bit faster and quicker. So I think all the process, how historically we might have seen, the process has been delayed a lot. Even like 10 years, we have been went through, right, Napasa, so many clients, so many viewers who actually given this suggested this thing that they have been waiting for a long time and still the process is not there. So I think now in 2025 the H1B visa holders are going to have some kind of relief, going to have a positive effect from after working so hard. And yeah, I think this is the first point that I want to mention. And over to you, Nepasa. What would you like to add on this?
Well, yes, H1B is definitely one of the most important visas, I guess, and folks out there really look forward to be able to be lucky. I mean, lately it was still at least that, because H1B had a lottery system, right? And they all tried their luck. They would try to uh, get themselves in and see if they would be selected in the lottery. But yes, talking about the new changes, the Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, has introduced these changes, and especially to H1B. And though these changes are going to be effective this January, 17th of January 2025. And what's new, I think, yes, Sam has already, uh, given us a few updates. And well, first things first is employers will now be, they will be able to experience faster petition processing. So I think this is a great news for all sorts of industries like tech, healthcare, and even research, that urgently needs skilled workers. And well, yes, historically, this process was bogged down with delays, but this modernization is definitely seems like a promising one. Hopefully, it's going to be more efficient and it's going to have quicker results for sure. And apart from that, yes, flexibility for employers and workers, the definition of specialty occupation, it has been broadened a bit, enabling businesses and all sorts of different industries out there to be able to hire for roles that require specific expertise. For example, a degree in communications could now qualify someone for jobs like media specialist or anchor, and even provide the position demands specialized skills.
Yeah.
And apart from that, we also have another new update, and that is support for F1 students. So this is a good one as well, because the long-standing cap issue, where
Yeah.
F1 students transitioning to H1B status, they really faced a lot of legal work interruptions, and this has been resolved because students can now seamlessly work, until their H1B kicks in. ensuring no breaks, and their employment is going to be at least not harmed, or whether you say their legal status, because sometimes they would have to leave the country and then come back in just for this reason.
Absolutely. And I think
Yeah.
that was one of the toughest thing, to wait for so long and then to come
Yeah.
back. So, yeah, of course.
So earlier, I think it was October, but now it's going to be extended to next April. So they have about 6 months in
Hmm.
hand,
Yeah.
like a 6 months extension. So this is going to be great for. I mean, this gap issue is going to definitely be resolved. I'm sure this is great news for folks out there, F1 students out there who are transitioning to H1B soon after their studies.
Absolutely. And I think there's another thing also, that you mentioned about the specialty occupation. So this
Yes.
also, this is also a very great new rule that is going to increase the flexibility for both the employees and the workers. Because in this, what happens that earlier, there has to be a very specific job role that needs to be fit for the employer and for the worker. But now, even if you are having a mass comm degree, for example, mass comm is a very basic one, but even if you're not very much specific for your own degree, like digital marketing, it's a vast ocean kind of thing. But in that, earlier, what it used to be happen, it used to be very specific. If you want to be editor, then you have to have a degree or a course regarding editor only. But now it's like vague, it's like a wider perspective now what the US government is taking a initiative towards it. And now, it's being more flexible for both the workers and for the employers, the one who wants to apply for the job and also the one those who want to hire. So it's going to be easier and beneficial for both of them, to fill that job vacancy right now, because it's not possible, just to choose that particular highly skilled one out of millions and millions of people. So it's better to at least reduce some competition and reduce and give some kind of leniency towards the people, those who are actually looking towards it. And this is going to be very helpful. And yes, I think the new rules of for the H1B workers till now we have went through. It's some on the other kind of like win-win situation. So it's going to be a very helpful one. It's going to be a very beneficial one. And yeah, also Nepalsa, you have mentioned about F1 students. So I think yeah, that was one of the major challenge, that F1 students had to face regarding the gap thing. So yeah, I think it was a very basic thing, and it needs to be highlighted. And also, Nepalsa, would you like to talk something about the H1B lottery system? Because now in 2025, the H1B lottery system is going to like ban, not exactly like ban, but maybe it won't be so much in trend because it may be replaced by the merit based system, or it may be there was some kind of other things that may come in H1B lottery system. So what would you like to add on that?
That's what we hear. I mean, yes, in fact, I think we had a whole discussion, a whole episode on, whether the lottery system is beneficial or not, right? And we saw like how maybe people who are more qualified or better than so many others are not as lucky, but
Yeah,
we see that maybe like the luckier ones may not be that qualified as well, or they're not, you know what I mean. So maybe when you talk about that, then it's not really not fair, because merit based system would be somehow fair, that the best people would be chosen for the jobs, right? The
yeah,
respective job. And I think nothing better than that, because when you look to hire anybody or you want to get some work done, you look for the best person to be able to perform their duties well in that job. And I think merit based system is definitely something that we should all look forward to. I know competition would be there, and where is it not, right? It's there, it's existing, and it'll be best to prepare yourselves and be best at what you do. Then I'm sure you would be chosen. Why not?
absolutely. I think that's wonderfully explained. And meanwhile, Abasa, I can see some of our viewers comment
Yeah,
also
I
at the
was just
same
going to say,
time.
yeah.
Muhammad
So
Ali.
we could,
So,
Yeah.
Okay, I think Muhammad Ali is asking for is Rajni here? I'm so sorry, Muhammad, but I think Rajni might join soon. So you can keep on commenting, and till the time she joins, we will definitely let you know. But let's move ahead with other candidates as well. Durga. And Durga is asking, is there any impact for the H1B visa? So, Durga, in this session, we are going to talk about the H1B visa in detail. So, stay tuned and, keep on commenting us on our
I
comment
think,
section because we will
yeah.
definitely look upon it.
I just want to quickly say to Durga that maybe, Durga, if you have already applied for the H1B visa or you were selected, not selected, I don't know what is your status, but the changes are going to be applicable from 17th of this month. So there is still about 10 days to go, 10, 11 days to go. And yeah, these changes are going to impact, I think it's going to impact only applications after this date, if I'm not mistaken. But if there's any more update, we will update you for sure. Let's go on to our next
Absolutely.
comment. Let's take Christopher, our first person who commented on YouTube. I've been working in the US on an H1B visa and for 3 years now, and I heard there are new rules in 2025 about extensions. Will these changes affect my chances? Well, yeah, this is a tricky one. This is a great question, Christopher, and I think we should address this with one of our attorneys. And when we do, we are surely going to update you. So please watch our space. We are Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. Don't forget to subscribe to us. So yeah,
And there we have another comment also from
cool.
Vishali. So Vishali is asking for any update for students in OPT extension and when will job market start. So I think this is a very interesting question and about OPT also. So it's like right now we are already talking about F1 students, and we have shared that F1 students are going to have some good news also. So as earlier, the transition could be very tricky, but now in the upcoming year we can see a little leniency towards the transition process, and this can be only beneficial for the F1 students, and for the specific answer about the OPT, I think we should refer to the attorneys, and that would be much better because then we can get the expert answer for Vishal. So thank you so much, Vishal, for asking this question, and we will definitely put this up to our attorney. And yeah, Nahasa, please go ahead.
Yeah, we can take up our next comment, and that is Bala Gola Rami. Oh, sorry, Golamari. What is your opinion on Trump giving green cards to international students? Well, is the directly, and this is also a great comment, but we will surely update you with expert. I think what you want to know, maybe yes, I think it'll be good to get an expert opinion than us just saying what we have in our minds. But thank you so much. Yes, Bala. Vaishali ji is also saying thank you. Vaishali, thank you too for joining us with your comment. And I think we've taken up.
I think, Bala, why don't you talk about the giving the Trump on giving green cards? Firstly, let us know about that. How do you like the strategies or the agendas of Trump? Are you in favor of it? Are you against of it? Or what's your opinion on it? Because it's something very dicey, and we are still not sure about like how 2025 is going to be, and also if we can give the opinion related to green cards to international students. So it may benefit, it may not benefit. Until and unless it's not going to happen, we can't give the exact answer to it. We can just
Yeah, but
predict. But I think why don't you come
I
up?
think what Trump is doing here, like he is going to favor whoever is going to benefit America the most, right? And that's why he's coming
True.
out with merit based or even this chance for giving a green card to international students. Of course, he's not going to give them all. Not all international students are going to get green cards, right? I think only the best. Like that's
Hmm.
what he said, and I think that's like if you think about like Trump is thinking about America first, then yes, I think it's a good thing. Right, Bala? What do you say? What is your opinion, by the way? What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I think here he says that yes, I'm in favor, as he also mentioned in his election
Yeah.
campaign. So wow, that's great. I think Bala, but why don't you join us on this stream, and you could be live with us, not through video camera but through call. You can dial this number and with the access code. So you can join us right here, and you can share your opinion. You can share your point of view with us, and it would be great to join you and. Yeah, I think let's have this discussion, a very fruitful one, and it would be great if you could join us. And to everyone, to Muhammad, to Durga, to Vaishali also, we can see so many comments and we can see so many opinions also. So it would be great if you guys can join us by dialing this number, and it would be one of the best thing, to share your opinions here in the platform, and we could also get to know so much about you, not exactly about the topic, but anything about immigration or anything about your status. Are you a H1B worker? Are you looking for H1B visa? Are you F1 student? So whatsoever, it would be a great one to have you all here.
Please join us if you can. And coming back to our discussion, Sam, there was also this another update saying a new form I-129, which is, yes, starting this January again, 17th of January 2025. A revised form of I-129 will be required for H-1B petitions. And employers are encouraged, to check the USCIS website for a preview before submission. So, yes, I think dates really matter. The latest forms have to be there, especially if you are, submitting after this date or on this date. So far, I think whatever has been submitted, and these are not going to be affected. But starting the 17th of January, again, we are going to have new forms. So, yeah, I think this whole system. Bala is saying, I wish I could, but I'm in office right now. Well, you could take a 5-minute break, it would be great. But it's so nice that you are watching us in your office, and it's great to have you join us, watch our stream. So, thank you, Bala. It really means a lot.
Absolutely. And I think, we have another comment also that we got from Imran. So Imran is saying that my employer recently filed for an H1B transfer, but I also heard there are stricter compliance checks under the new rules. What steps can I take to ensure my transfer goes smoothly without delays? Imran, I think it's not exactly that we can suggest that there won't be any delays or the process will go very smoothly. There will be some kind of challenges. There will be some kind of restrictions as well in the process, because maybe Trump is trying to be more giving more opportunities to the people, to the H1B workers, but still there will be some kind of restrictions as well. And how you can take the steps to ensure that the transfer goes smoothly without any delays, I think the major thing is to stay updating. I think by staying updated, this is one of the most important thing you can uh, keep on going your process smoothly without any delays. So that is something that I can suggest. And
I think I can also say a little
yeah,
something, and that is like, whenever there are new rules, new forms, anything new, there you have to wait for a little buffer time, because there are so many chances of mistakes to happen. And wait, and obviously, consult an expert. Have an attorney handle your case. You will be directed on the right path. They would know best. Have a good attorney, and if you are confused who to hire, please check our channel out. We have amazing attorneys who join us, and maybe whoever you resonate with, you can definitely have a one-on-one consultation with them as well. But yes, remember about that buffer time, so that not right, I mean, on the 17th of January, you do, I mean, wait at least a couple of days or a week or so, see how much time you can have, especially after these new rules come in, and I think that'll be best. We have
that's
Rajendra.
so
Wow,
true.
Rajendra, thank you so much for joining us. Um, I think I'll read one comment. Sam, I'll just read this comment, okay? So, what are the implications of the SEVIS fee requirement for Indian students pursuing higher education in the United States? And how might this affect their financial planning and decision making regarding studying abroad? Wow. What would you like to say about SEVIS fee requirement?
I think this is one of the very important question, that Rajendra you have asked. First of all, thank you so much for putting up this question, and I think it's going to be very important one. And I don't want to, say
Yeah.
something that's not too informative, but because this topic needs to be addressed with one of the experts, one of the expert advice that needs to be required. So I would suggest that Rajendra, please stay updated with our channel and also press the bell icon so that you can get the notification all the time. Because every week we come up with different attorneys with different experts, who shares their so much, like the sessions are so insightful, and there we put on these questions that we get from our viewers, and just to help you out, just to help the viewers, related to these immigration process, because it's so
Yeah.
complicated and there
But
are plenty of questions that needs to
yeah.
be answered, so we take them.
Right.
Yeah,
And to add to just maybe if we could give maybe a point maybe to keep in mind is that, service fee must be paid for sure, to maintain your enrollment in the program. So currently, I think the service fee for an F1 student is about $350. So save the payment receipt because you're going to need it during your visa application and even for your interview. I think that's a very important point to keep in mind.
absolutely. And I think let's move ahead with another changes also, that we can see as a new visa rule in 2025. So there's also the new H2 visa rules. So till now we have talked about the H1B and the F1 also. So now I think I would also like to touch upon H2 visa rule. So in this, what's happening that if we look upon the past, so in the past, the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, had to publish a list of eligible countries every year for H2 visa. And I think this was a very long and very cumbersome process. But now, what's going to happen? The new rule removes this need for DHS, to create that list every year and to go through again with that long process. So what they are going to do now in this year, instead of creating those lists and going through a long process, they have actually streamlined the process by making it much quicker and easier for both the employees and the workers. So this is a change that actually saves time and reduce the administrative delays also for everyone. And under the old rule, if we talk about it, then there was maximum stay, for H2 workers was limited to 3 years. And if due to some reason, if the worker left the US and came back again, then it wasn't always clear how their stay would be calculated, which led to confusion. So I think because of this staying question also, there was so much confusion for the H2 workers as well. And in this 2025 new visa rule, it's going to clarify, that the H2 workers are only need to be one of the US for 60 out of the US for 60 days only to reset their stay period. So this gives them a better clarity, this gives them a relaxation also, and I think it's going to help everyone plan accordingly. And also, if workers leaves and stays abroad for 2 months, then they can also return to the US for another 3 year period. And this is something major change and helpful also for the H2 workers as well, because it makes them more clear. It eliminates the confusion and that what workers and employees previously used to have. So yeah, I think this was one of the major change that I wanted to let it know.
Well,
And I think, yeah, please, Nabasa, go ahead.
yes. So, yes, talking about H2 visas, I think that is a very good update, So, the annual list of eligible countries is no longer required, and it also reduces this bureaucratic hurdles. And apart from that, workers can reset their maximum 3 year stay by spending just 60 days outside the US, and this definitely simplifies planning for workers and employers as well. So yes, and talking about H2 visas, we have the H2A, which serves the agricultural, and the non-agricultural is the H2B for temporary workers. So I think those were good points that you have highlighted. And we also have stronger worker protections. Companies cannot charge workers illegal fees. Non-compliance could lead to
Yeah.
denied petitions. I think this is a very important thing to keep in mind as well, because companies, they really cannot charge workers fees. So if you have any companies doing that, just don't go to that company. And apart from that, whistleblower protections are now in place, safeguarding workers who report issues from retaliation.
And I think that's a major point, that you have covered about working protection. So, yeah, I think we all are aware of, but still, I want to highlight the historical one, like how it used to happen. So, earlier, some companies would charge workers illegal fees to process their visa or to bring them to the US. And I think this practice was very unfair, was illegal also, and put the workers, in a very difficult position. And the new rule is actually looking upon and taking care of the H2 workers, so that nobody can, so that the workers get protected, and nobody gets harmed regarding all these illegal issues, and getting difficulty in having a work in the US. So in this time, these companies cannot charge workers illegal fees, and if they do, then their H2 petition could be denied. So this is a great action that's taking against these people who mostly try to use misuse these workers, and actually make them in such a difficult position that they cannot get out from it very easily. And now on, they won't be able to allow to bring in workers and provide workers in much needed these kinds of situation. So it's going to protect the workers, and for workers also, it's going to be a very beneficial and a very positive year, I would say. And yeah, I think that would be a good one to suggest.
For sure. For sure, Sam. And talking about that, very, very well said. Because this enhanced compliance checks, if you think that these companies would be able to get away with these things they're doing illegally, whether it's fee demand or anything similar, DHS has increased its power to inspect and insure companies. So this is good news. And yes, they're going to be making sure that these companies are following regulations, and if they refuse to cooperate, it could result in petitions being denied or even revoked. So this is a very, very good point. And yes, apart from that, we also have worker flexibility, grace periods. So if a worker loses their
Uh,
job, they now have 60 days to find a new one or leave the US. 60 days is a good time, I think. And right, Sam?
True. Absolutely. And I think that is much needed, because it's not possible, just to lose your job and get back to US, leaving everything, because it creates a lot of chaos over there. And the one who actually dreamed and has struggled so much just to reach to that level, and now when they are having this thing, to just leave the job and get back to the US the next day. I think, yeah, having this grace period was much needed, and it's going actually to relax the workers a lot, and being very helpful too.
Sure, Sam. And also, portability, because workers can also switch jobs immediately if their new employer files the required paperwork. I think this is good news, because sometimes the workers really have to think so much, or maybe even if they want to switch jobs, they just don't, because of this whole complicated process or so many obstacles that come by. So this is good news, because if workers out there want to switch jobs, and they can do that immediately. I mean, of course, if their new employer abides by the rules and files all the paperwork required.
And I think this should be applicable to everyone, every place. because there shouldn't be any foundation regarding that you are restricted to this job only. Now you can't look ahead and you can't go, look for the opportunities, and you can't explore. So I think it's not only for the workers, especially for the H2 workers, but it should be like overall for everyone, because that's what defines the freedom, right? If you're not even feel free to, choose your job, then what else are you going to have in your life? Isn't it? What do you say, Nipasa, in this?
Very well put, Sam, and rightly agreed, I would say, because everyone wants to um, do better, achieve more, and if they have the opportunity, why not, right? So, whether I'm sure switching jobs would mean they're getting paid better, or maybe they're going to be appreciated better in the next job. So, why not? I think it's always good to be able to make bold decisions, and I think good things come to people who are ready for change. So yes, switching
True.
jobs immediately, and being able to do so without too many hurdles, it's a great news for sure.
Right, right. And I think with that, they can start their new job right away, and it's going to benefit both the workers and the new
Yes.
employers. And also, Nipas, I would like to mention the other point
Yeah.
also that's going to be in the US visa. That from now on, no penalty for seeking a green card. So it's like, finally, the H2 workers are not going to be penalized for taking steps towards becoming a permanent resident. And earlier, it used to happen like if an H2 worker applied for a green card, then it could have some negatively affected, their current H2 status. So, but now on, the status won't be getting affected with anything negative, and now they can pursue permanent residency without worrying about it, like how it's going to impact their visa status. So there are so much, relaxation. There are so much good rules. There are so much I think the rules are being filled with positiveness, and people are so much happy about these new rules. So I think it's going to be a great year ahead, because H1B rules, if we can see this one, then this is one of the major visa,
Mhm.
right? That is highly, highly in demand in India, and that too over all the world.
Right.
So I think if these new rules are implementing, and if we can get these chances, we can get the opportunity. So I don't think that anything can stop you to reach to the top, isn't
Yes,
it?
for sure. And that's a great point. So, this path to permanent residency, I think, yes, H2 workers pursuing green cards, they won't be facing penalties. And I think we can all ensure this smooth transition, to permanent residence. So, I'm sure. I mean, these new changes, like you said, very positive, and I think finally, these changes that they have been, we all have been anticipating for so long now, decades now. I won't just say 1 or 2 years, but these new changes, new rules were much needed, really.
True. And I think it's not only just going to benefit, the H1B workers, but also the employers. Because earlier the process used to be a very long process, a very lengthy process. And now, if we can see the changes, the reforms in the upcoming visa rules, I think it's not only just going to benefit the H1B workers, but also the American employers too, because H1B workers work for whom? For the American companies. Specifically, if we talk about the US and
Mhm.
India. So I think, yeah, it's going to benefit both of them, and it's going to be very helpful, a great rules that we have seen, we have discussed in today's session. And also we have unpacked, some major updates also that is going to focus on the H1B and H2 visa program, then also the F1 student visa rules also. So these changes have been like remarkably and set things, to make it more easier, and also try to make the process faster, quicker, and smoother. So yeah, I think as we head into 2025, it's very crucial to stay informed and prepared for these
Mhm.
shifts. So it doesn't matter, friends, whether you are a worker or an employer. I think understanding these changes is definitely going to help you with your planning ahead if you're planning to visit to US or settling there or just for the B1 B2 visa. I think staying informed with all these things is the must and is definitely going to navigate the system with very ease. So yeah, I think that's all from my end. And Napasa, please go ahead and share your point of view that you would like to share with our viewers.
No, definitely, Sam. Thank you so much for that wrap. Also, I think because these new changes, these new rules, new reforms are definitely going to be a game changer. You know, whether it's for business, um, I mean, not just for the employers, not just for the employees, but also for the employers, right? So businesses, struggling to fill all these critical roles, and even workers who are looking for this smooth transition, or better protections. I think these changes were much required, like I said earlier. And by modernizing the system, the US is really addressing the economic needs while also safeguarding worker rights. I think this is a very, very great thing. And these new rules are what we can all look ahead for. And looks like 2025 is going to be brighter and better for so many folks out there. And yes, like I said, folks, if you have any, you know, update or maybe things you want to share about your status, visa status, or if you want to know more, we are definitely going to note down some of your amazing questions and try to get expert answers, in our upcoming webinars with awesome attorneys who join us every week. So I'm looking forward for that as well. And it was really great to have such a good turn up today. So many questions from so many viewers. So I would just like to say thank you to everyone who commented with their questions. Yes, Rajni, you were dearly missed. Muhammad Ali also missed you. He was looking for you. I wonder why, but if you have any message, Muhammad, it'll be really great. We can forward that your message to Rajni since she couldn't join us today. But yeah, if you're there, Mohammed, please leave your message to Rajni and we will be able to tell her. But yes, and Durga, Imran, Vishal, Bala, and Rajendra, thank you so much for all those lovely comments and questions. It was great having you. I wish some of you could join us, on call. But yes, since we do this every day, Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, this is Daily Immigration Dose. Please feel free to join us and yes, join us in this conversation. It'd be great to have you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And, it's been a very informative session. And thank you so much to all our viewers who had commented their thoughts and perception. It's been great to know them. And yeah, thank you so much, Nepalsa, also, for sharing your informative things. And it's been really great to have you again. And yeah, I think that's all. It's a great wrap up. It's a great show. And we are looking forward to it. But friends, you don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel because every day we are coming here. Mia Nepasa will surely go ahead and let you know all the latest updates that's happening around the world, especially related to immigration. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you tomorrow. Till then, bye bye from now.
Bye bye.